Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning back in. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Layla, the Lenormand reader, and I use the amazing Lenormand deck. I've got a starter guide for you and also your Astro Clock journals for the new year, so check them out so you can discover this amazing deck. Welcome to a new weekly reading. This is the first full week reading in January of 2026. How exciting. I hope you watched your Astro Clock and also the recent 2026 pick a card reading for the year. It's an amazing set of spreads. So do look at that and I'll have everything linked for you. So welcome to this weekly reading. Let's start the new year with a fresh mind. I've got the blink of an eye and we're doing an extended line of 5 to focus on this week. So let's go ahead and start with you, Aries. Let's deal out your extended line and let's see what is in store for you in this very first week of the year. Okay, Aries, here is your extended line of 5 and we have a whole bunch of really good cards except these two here, especially the snake at the end of the line. Now, these two together are definitely pointing to moving away or an ending. So just from an overview, a bird's eye view of your extended line, it's telling us that you might get an offer or an opportunity that you're probably going to turn down. Maybe it's just within the week. So this week it's not a good idea to go for it, and maybe another time it's going to be more appropriate. But within this week, it's definitely a good idea not to engage just yet. So backing up here, we have the man with the dog and moon. This is great for a friendship. It's great for an invitation. It sounds like you could get an invite from a friend or from someone else. And that's what you move away from. That's probably what you turn down. Another way we could look at this, it's less likely. Turning it down is the more obvious way to interpret these cards. But another way is that maybe you think about it, like you don't commit, you take it away and you think about it. And that is definitely a good option if you're hesitant. But definitely from these cards, Aries, you don't want to give it a quick yes from the get-go. So a clear offer or an invitation from a friend in here, which you're probably better off not engaging in, at least not this week. Now, the flowers with the moon and key is actually a very, very beautiful line. It's a lovely line. It tells us that this offer is great. It's helpful. It's aligned with your goals. And also there's opportunity here for engaging in projects, doing things together, expressing creativity, and moving ahead with things that you love and things that you're interested in. So these are very bright cards. It's very probable, Aries, that this is a good offer and a good opportunity. But because of the coffin and snake, I would either be careful, and we're going to look at the diamonds, the outer diamond. And I would also suggest that you not engage within this week just yet. Maybe it's a bit too early in the year, or it's too early in the offer or the relationship. So it's best to take it away, at least for this week, even though it has a lot of good prospects. Now, the dog with the flowers and coffin and key, these are also very bright cards suggesting some very good outcomes and help and opportunity through this friend. But the coffin suggests that it's better to close it off right now, or to put it on hold, or maybe even turn it down like we suggested. And the man with the flowers, snake, and key is similar. We've got the key with the man, the flowers with the man, very supportive of this relationship. But the key and snake is clearly about turning it down for now, or moving away from it, and also thinking about it and considering it in terms of your strategy. And the flowers and snake is the red flag for me, Aries. The flowers and snake often suggests deception. Someone who is a charmer, who seems really nice, or the offer sounds really good, but in fact it has a negative side, or it's not what you think it is. And so it can be deceptive, at least to some extent. So the cards are very helpful in terms of being cautionary. They're very helpful in their clarity. Very, very clear line here, telling you to be careful of any invitation or offers that you get this week, or maybe close to this week, and that you take it away, sleep on it, think about it, because it might not be what you think it is. Someone could be overselling, overpromising, or making it sound too good to be true, or better than it really is. So definitely take it slow and take it away. And in all probability, you're probably going to turn it down. But, it might depend on you specifically. Definitely you want to slow down and not give a clear answer or a definite answer within the week. So slow down. There may be good intentions here, but it's likely that there are hidden things. Maybe this person means for them to be there, but maybe not. So again, taking it slow is the better approach. Now, the cards are flexible in terms of context. This could be something personal, something related to your work or other areas of your life. It could be in relation to people in any context really, but the dynamic is the same. If it's a friend, they might not be 100% clear or 100% good intentioned. That's possible. If it's something more romantic or love related, this could be a triangle, a love triangle. There could be another party in the picture. Maybe they have a partner and they're not being honest about it and things like that. In terms of work, it might sound like a good offer, but maybe you have other options, and it's probable that there are things in the fine print that are not ideal for you. So again, regardless of the context, the idea is very clear, Aries. You want to take this away, maybe turn it down, but definitely move away from it for now, and at least within the week, slow down and shelf it. So let me know what you make of this. Let me know if there was this offer or option or opportunity that came through this person and you turned it down, or you sort of put it aside for the time being. I look forward to how you resonated with these cards. Very best of luck with the week again. Thank you for tuning in. Again, Happy New Year. Let's do this together. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your weekly reading. Welcome to this first full week of January. Let's deal out your extended line of 5 and see what the week brings. Okay, Taurus, this is very pretty. We have the beautiful clover, the beautiful sun. They're very powerful cards, very positive. And we have the dog, the letter, and the rider, so people are involved. It sounds like there's some pretty good news and some exciting activity. So the clouds and rider suggests that you overcome some doubts, some issues, little challenges here, and you move past them. And with the stork, it's a very clear combination of taking action. So with the clouds, you have to move past the thinking, the planning, and the hesitation, and just take an action. It sounds like doing is better than not doing. And then we've got the clover and dog, which is great for activities with a friend or support from a friend. You could also be the one supporting a friend. Maybe someone is in need and you don't want to hesitate about giving. So these are lovely cards for being active and getting involved with people, with a friend, and collaborating. The sun with the stork and letter is great news. And actually the rider is also about news. So we have both the rider and letter that are news cards. With the clover, with the sun, these are very bright messages. So you get the good news, the green light, the positive feedback, whatever it is, this news you were waiting for, whatever format it takes for you. It's probably going to be very positive, and it should happen within the week, hopefully, and you're able to kick off whatever this entails. So very beautiful cards, and I would say be ready to act. And once you do, just, maintain your momentum and be active. Reach out, be there, and, do your part and beyond, I would say. The rider with the sun, clover, and letter, very great cards for a confirmation. So they're repeating the messages. Letter and clover, rider and sun, both suggest some very good news. And that green light and the sun and clover is all around positive. So again, very positive feedback, very good news. Now the clouds is a little bit challenging, but with the sun, it's easily overcome. The sun comes through to shine its light. Your doubts, your hesitation are overcome, and whatever issues you were going through with the clouds here are, you move past them easily. You could have been thinking about when the news was going to come. Maybe you were waiting on it. You weren't sure if you're going to hear back, but you definitely will. And it's exactly what you want to hear. And the dog brings in this person again. Again, lovely energies here, good communication, and a very positive vibe, a very positive connection. So really nice cards, Taurus, and also pretty straightforward. The good news comes and you're able to move ahead with this person, with this collaboration. And the context here is flexible. So this could be a friendship. It could be something more romantic, or you aspire for it to be romantic. It could be a project or an exciting activity in your hobbies that you're doing with others, or maybe, you know, with whoever this dog is. So really nice cards, Taurus. Be ready to move ahead and also get past your hesitation. So you don't want any hesitation or wobbliness or negativity to hold you back. This is a great week for being active and for acting on the news that hopefully comes. One more thing I can add is that perhaps you're the one who initiates this news, so you take initiative to be in touch and to reach out to this person. So that's also a really clear message coming through these cards. Again, no more hesitation, no more thinking, draw a line and take action. Let me know what you make of this lovely spread, Taurus. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. I like to know how you resonated with the cards. And again, very best of luck with this first week. Let's do this together. Stick with me and we'll go through the forecast every week, every month. Very best of luck again. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your weekly reading. And welcome to this first full week of the year. How exciting. Let's draw your extended line of 5 and see what this first week brings. Okay, Gemini, this is a handful, I have to say, for a first week. Just going to bring these down a little bit. We have some swift changes, and we have a tricky card. We have the snake, which is right in the middle. But I have to say, the fact that it's in the middle could maybe tell us that the snake is to your advantage, or that you need to be a bit like a snake. So we have a person in the cards, and we have sharp changes with the stork and scythe. Now, backing up here, we have the sun and fish. This is lovely for abundance and money. This is great for wealth, for making money, for making good money, for maybe increasing your income or finding new sources of income. These are great cards for your financial well-being and also your work and business well-being in general. The fish is about practical things in life, money and practical things in life, so we can sort of stretch it. So very beautiful cards for a sense of abundance. Now the snake is a tricky card. It can point to deception. Now, because we have a person in here, and we'll get to this in a bit, there could be someone envious of you or trying to work against you. But the snake could also suggest that you want to be discreet with your success and you want to focus on your own goals. Now, the stork and scythe is a very clear message of change. There is definitely something you need to remove from your life and you need to change. And it could tie into this person, but there could be other things as well. So you want to be on this path of success, on this path of prosperity, and you want to make sure that there are no distractions, that there's nothing in the way to compromise you. Now, when we see the man, snake, and moon here, there's definitely a clear message of someone who could be envious of you, wanting to take from you, or wanting to compromise you. And so this person is clearly someone you need to remove out of your life. And you need to say no and draw a sharp line and move on from this person. They could be coming with an offer, because the moon is an offer card. They could be coming with, like a proposal or an invitation or something like that. Now, because of the snake, I'd be very careful. Of course, you have to evaluate everything yourself, but the snake is generally deceptive. In the very least, Gemini, it asks you to be really picky and to be really careful and to read the fine print very, very carefully. Now, the fish with the man, stork, and moon is actually a really bright combination. It clearly suggests a business offer, a customer, a work offer, a collaboration, opportunities probably in your work life or your activity, or something that is on the more tangible, practical side of your life. So you could get an offer here. Now, the sun and moon is often a combination for a relationship, usually love, because of the archetypes, the sun archetypal masculine and the moon archetypal feminine. So when they come together, they can represent love. Now, we do have the man in here, which confirms a relationship, but we also have the scythe. And so the scythe is clearly a card of separation. So I'm not so sure this is the best offer or the best collaboration or the best connection in whatever context for you, Gemini. I would say you're probably going to move away from it. If you're going to give it a chance, again, be careful, but be ready to make changes. And if something feels wrong, then it probably is Gemini and you want to draw a sharp line. So don't waste time experimenting. See what you get from it for a small period of time, within the week probably, and then move on as soon as you see that it's not workable. Now, the fish tends to focus on work, money, business, those sorts of areas, but it can also be in a relationship context, because, we have people cards and the sun and moon. It can be quite sensual and sexual, especially with the snake. So perhaps you have a really good relationship with this person, or there's a lot of chemistry on that level. But again, Gemini, the Stork and Scythe, they're kind of really sharp. They're kind of really clear. It's hard not to read into them, what they are. It's hard not to see them as a separation. And the snake really adds to this in the triplet. So maybe you enjoy this for some time, but I think moving forward, I'm not so sure how well this works out. So quite a sharp message here, but really it's in your best interest, Gemini, and it's very much about guarding your advantages, guarding your wealth, guarding your situation. Okay, so be picky, and as soon as you see that it's not there, make the change and don't waste time. So quite an energy here, quite a lot of momentum. Let me know what you made of this, Gemini, how it resonated with you. I look forward to your feedback always. So very best of luck with this. Very best of luck with this first full week of 2026. Stick around. Let's do this together. And we'll go through the year as it unfolds with our forecasts. So again, very best of luck, Gemini. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your weekly reading and welcome to this first full week of 2026. How exciting. I hope you're excited. Let's deal out your extended line of 5 and let's see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Cancer, here is your extended line of 5 and we have the coffin right in the middle. And this is a strong message of an ending, although after the coffin, we have a peaceful relationship combination here between the man and Lily. Let's back up and take these in turn. We have the garden and anchor. Now, this is about staying put, staying in the same location, or sticking with the status quo. But then we have the coffin. So the anchor and coffin is often a strong message of bringing something to a completion, to a close. And it sounds like you have waited, or you've given the situation time until you bring it to a close. It can also mean waiting for the right time to wrap something up. Now, the man is a relationship card. It represents someone, anyone, but usually someone pretty significant to you. And then we have the lily, which is quite interesting here because the lily points to professionalism, or someone senior, someone older, someone more experienced, someone wise, and also generally calm and peaceful. So I wonder if there could be someone retiring, maybe in a work environment, or someone leaving after a long phase. And you could also be moving on from a relationship. Maybe you've outgrown it. But there's definitely the end of a phase, and it affects a person and it affects the status quo and the circumstance that you're in. Now, the mouse with the coffin and house. So the mouse is tells us that this has been dragging and that maybe you're getting tired of it. The house represents a location just like the garden. So it's like a placeholder for this situation or place. And with the mouse, it sounds like you're getting bored of it, you're getting tired of it, you need a break from it. And so it's definitely a good idea, Cancer, to take a break from this circumstance, from this place or situation, at least for some time. And if this is about moving on from a relationship, then we might see this happen as well. We're not seeing these sharp breakup cards, but it's going to depend on your specific situation. Now, the anchor with the mouse, man, and house, again, suggests that you've been putting up with this person. I have to say, though, Cancer, that the mouse is not very, it's not tragic. It's not a very dramatic card. It just tends to drain you a little bit. The thing about it is that over time, it can become a bigger deal. So the usual advice of the mouse is that if these issues, you want to take care of them while they're small, because if you ignore them, then they're going to grow into something bigger. So it's possible that you're getting tired at this point and you need a break from this place, from this environment, and from this relationship. Now, the garden, mouse, lily, and house is very similar because we have the two location cards and the mouse as well. And the lily is a card of time. It's a bit slower, just like the anchor and a coffin. So it has that similar energy of things taking time. And again, with the mouse and garden, the mouse and house, it's like things are less than ideal in this place. They're getting a bit tiresome. Maybe you need a break and, you need to rest and recover. So that is very clear. This week, Cancer, you need to take a break from someone or something. And you also make the realization that you're kind of almost done with it, I would say. So if you're feeling done with it, it's a good idea to start drawing the line, making a close. And if you are able to take a vacation, do that. If you're able to transform things or change them, do that. But I want to also add, Cancer, that we're not seeing aggressive cards. So we're not seeing a disagreement or argument or, toxic energies. We're not seeing that. So you don't need to be abrasive towards this person for any reason. This is about you and maybe creating some boundaries, taking time out, and taking care of yourself. And these cards can happen in any context. So it could be work related. You want to take a break. Maybe it's your personal projects. You feel that someone's involvement is not ideal. So maybe create some distance. In a personal relationship, you could feel that the relationship is tapering off. So maybe just keep the relationship at a more, professional or sort of, kind of neutral kind of level. All of these are possible. And one more interpretation that I think works out well with these cards is maybe you're not feeling too well physically or mentally and in general. So you could be feeling a little bit under the weather. And this is definitely a good time to take time out and possibly consult a specialist or a doctor and get their feedback. And actually this specialist or a consulting kind of idea can apply in different contexts as well. Maybe there's something legal or something administrative, or maybe something to do with real estate, property and things like that. Maybe you're buying, selling, making these changes, and you might need the input of someone who's expert. I want to say, Cancer, that if you're going to get the help of someone, make sure they're qualified, because the lily is very much about professionalism and having seniority and experience. So don't settle for someone who's just getting started or, doesn't have that experience. You want someone who has more experience. So wrapping things up still at the beginning of the year, it sounds like you're still tapering things off from last year, Cancer. It's totally fine. Do it. Slow down a little bit. Appreciate that you need a break and appreciate that you need professional input if it applies, and do that. Let me know what you make of these cards. Very interesting. Again, take it easy, relax, take care of yourself, and let me know how it goes. Very best of luck. Thank you for tuning in, and do stick around, Cancer, for our upcoming forecast. Let's go through the year together. Thanks again, and until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Leo. Welcome to your weekly reading, the first full week of 2026. How exciting. I hope you are excited. Let's go ahead and deal out your extended line of 5 and see what is in store for you this first week. Okay, Leo, here is your extended line of 5, and we have a few exciting cards, mainly the key right in the middle, and then we have the lovely clover at the beginning. And the rest of the cards are quite exciting. There are some changes, some news, and some forward movement and progress. So with the key in the middle, it's clear that here you're going to get the go-ahead, the green light, the positive feedback, solutions, and answers, and that's going to help you move forward because we have movement card, mainly the road, at the end of the line, and also the bird is helpful along with the bear. Now, the clover with the bear and key, this is very empowering. This is a big deal because the bear makes everything big and important. So when we see it with the clover, it's a major piece of luck, and with the key, it's a very important piece of opportunity or this unlocking event that happens for you. So it could be a pretty big deal. Now, the letter is the card of news, and the road is about movement and changes and often choices in order to move ahead. So when we take this line overall, it is wonderful for getting the green light to go ahead, for making changes that move you towards your goals, and for taking on this opportunity. The thing about the bear, Leo, is that it can require courage. So be willing to do this. You know, you definitely have what it takes. Certainly the key confirms this, and just step up to it. Take on this opportunity, take on this change, this movement, and go for it. The bird with the key and tower is similar to what we see in the middle line, because we have the bird and key, which is similar to the letter and key. Both of these are news cards. They tend to be a bit different in terms of the letter being written usually and the bird being oral typically, but they're sort of interchangeable. And so there's definitely some good news with the bird and key. And the tower has an overlap element with the bear because they're both cards of authority and people who are higher up. So just keep that in mind. But the tower is also a card of institutions, formalities, procedures, and things that are on the more admin legal side usually. And it can also represent like an organization, a company, and places like that. And so you could get the support from someone at the top because we have both the bear and tower, and you can get the green light to move ahead. So these are some really exciting cards. The tower is sometimes a card of the past, and so you could have been working on this and it materializes this week. So clearly some very good news, some good opportunity, and probably the support from people at the top. If you're after a promotion at work or in some other context, you could get it. This is very good cards for this. The bear with the bird letter and tower, just confirming what we were saying. We have both bear and tower together, really emphasizing this element of authority or manager or someone at the top, or perhaps you stepping up, and the bird and letter confirming this news. The clover with the bird, road, and tower is great for this progress, for advancement, and for getting the good news and acting on it. So again, the bird and clover is like another news combination that is positive, a bit like with the bird and key, letter and key. And the tower, again, highlights this environment, or maybe this person who is supportive of you, someone at that level who is supportive of you. And it tells us that you're going to move ahead and move in this direction. There could be a call for letting go of the past, Leo, and moving forward. But definitely, even if not, these are great cards for this kind of progress and empowerment and growth and opportunity. It seems to me that this is mostly focused on your work, your projects, your activity. I'm not seeing people cards in the sense of one-on-one relationships or friends, people in any context. We have the letter and bird, but they're more focused on the communication. So it seems to me that this is focused on your work, your projects, and the more practical things in your life, and not so much people. So make sure you are ready for this, because it could come, Leo. You could embrace this empowerment, you could embrace this step up and this positive change, and you could move ahead with these objectives. If you can travel, maybe it calls for a bit of a trip, maybe going places, that's also fine. But definitely the key with the different combinations brings the answers and the positive answers that you want. So I hope this opportunity materializes for you, Leo. It's great to kick off the year with. Let me know how it played out for you. As always, I look forward to your feedback. So very best of luck again. Thank you for tuning in, and do stick around for the upcoming forecast. Let's do 2026 together. Very best of luck, and until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello Virgo, welcome to your weekly reading, the first full week of 2026. Let's draw your extended line of 5 and see what is in store for you this first week. Okay, Virgo, here is your extended line of 5, and we have the beautiful clover right in the middle. It's a bit of a game changer with the clover in the middle, considering the cards around, because we have a few challenging cards: the fox, the clouds, and the mouse. Potentially the bird can be a bit nervous, anxious, but the clover in the middle really helps protect you from all of these challenges. And I have to say that these challenging cards are not the most dramatic that you'll find in the Lenormand deck. They're kind of little bumps here and there. So the clover in the middle brings this element of protection, and the garden and bird points to an environment that could be a bit busy. It could be a networking environment. You could get some news, or you could be getting together with people. And the clover is certainly encouraging of this, and the ship is an active card. So from the get-go, we see, Virgo, that it's a good idea to be active and to be involved and to go out, be with people, reach out, and network. Now, the clouds is a little bit challenging. It brings confusion, tension, doubts, things like that. It tends to be psychological in character, so it affects our thoughts. And with the ship, you could be going through some bumps, some challenges, some doubts, but it's not meant to deter you, because we have the clover here that gives you that element of protection. So move ahead and move forward with these objectives, with these goals, and certainly go out and be adventurous. I would say a good thing to keep in mind, Virgo, is not to have too many expectations. The clover is sort of happy-go-lucky, so it's a good idea to let go of expectations. Some things are going to be nice, maybe some things are a bit bumpy, but that's fine. It's still part of exploring. Now, the mouse and fox on either side of the clover, they're a little bit more challenging, and certainly together they add that issue. Certainly the fox can bring up an element of deception, and the mouse can bring up an element of mistrust when it comes to people and connections. Now, obviously the clover is going to protect you, but the idea here, Virgo, is that you be aware of this, and also that you distance yourself where you can from folks, who are negative or don't have the best of intentions, or maybe just don't understand you. So you could enter into some kind of mixed bag situation where this environment has pros and cons, and you want to be aware of both. And also, I feel that the mouse and fox can be naysayers. So you've got these objectives, these plans, and you want to move forward, or you have ambitions, you're excited to go for whatever project you're dealing with right now. But you've got some naysayers around you, and they could try to discourage you, and they might discourage you more when the issues down the line come up. So just make sure you have good boundaries, and also that you have a good plan. And always, Virgo, whatever you do is because you want to do it, right? It's not because you're trying to prove a point to anyone, or to just for the sake of going against someone's ideas, okay? So we're on the same page about that, right? So go for these, experiment, give it a try, see what you find, and let go of people who are not supportive. Another thing is you want to try to plan your next step. So you might get some inspiration from this environment and you're ready to move forward, but it's a good idea to plan, check in with your readiness to make sure you prevent these bumps down the line as much as possible. Now, the bird with the mouse, ship, and fox, again, this is bringing up the issues with the journey, with the progress. There can be some bumps, some issues, things you didn't plan for, and they could come up and you will need to deal with them. The garden with the mouse, clouds, and fox, here we're really bringing together the three challenging cards. And so they highlight the issues that could be in this location. I have to wonder, Virgo, maybe that's part of the reason why you want to leave or make a change or move forward. And if that's what you want to do, I think the cards are supportive as well. So it sounds like it's a transition this week. It could be an adjustment week where you're exploring options, considering people, networking with people, getting together and taking some actions, but also dealing with some issues that need ironing out, and some people that you might want to avoid altogether. But again, the clover in the center really changes the overall energy because it has that element of protection. And it can also point to blessings in disguise. So don't be veered away from your goal and from distractions, who are trying to take you away from what you need to be doing for yourself. Focus on your goals and deal with the issues as they come, and be discerning, Virgo, about the different people in this circumstance, and you'll be fine. Just a matter of transitioning. Context-wise, it's flexible. It could be a personal situation, a work situation, some other area in your life, like hobbies or groups that you're part of. So in terms of context, it's flexible. The idea is essentially the same. Let me know what you make of this, Virgo. Let me know how it played out for you, what this environment was, and what these steps and activities that you're pursuing are about, if you're willing to share. Best of luck again with this first week, and stick with me throughout the year. Virgo, let's go through our forecast together. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello Libra, welcome to your weekly reading, the first full week of 2026. I hope you're excited. I'm excited. Let's deal out your extended line and let's see what this first week brings. Okay, Libra, here is your extended line of 5, and it's looking really focused on a relationship. We have very clear cards, the man and ring, and we have some very beautiful cards. All 3 here, star, sun, and clover, are some of the best cards of the deck, and we're seeing all 3 of them in a short spread, which is quite powerful. Now we have the mouse at the top, a little bit challenging, not a huge deal. Certainly the clover overcomes it. And then we have the child at the end here, which points to a new relationship. So it's either this is a new relationship or one that's evolving and still it's in early phases, or it could be a new phase in an existing relationship. So the star, sun, and clover, these are broadly positive cards in any context. Great for healing, for success, for wish fulfillment, all the good stuff. They're kind of general in that sense. The ring and child is a new relationship. Now, it can be a new involvement, a new connection with something. It could be a new situation you get connected with. It doesn't have to be strictly a relationship with a person. But we have the man, so it's likely that it's a person. With the mouse, clover, and man, there's definitely issues that are overcome probably easily, because the mouse is not a huge deal to start with, and then the clover is a lucky card and it's supported by very potent, powerfully positive cards here. So whatever issues or doubts you might have had with this relationship, it sounds like you're going to give it a chance and move forward. The sun with the mouse ring and man is similar to what we saw. We have the sun, which is very bright, the man and ring, which points to a connection, and usually this is a deeper connection. It tends to be a more serious connection. And the mouse at the top can bring up these issues or these initial doubts, but the sun easily overcomes them. Same here with the outer diamond. We have the star, mouse, and child and man. Wonderful connection, a new connection, maybe some doubts or issues at the beginning, but that are easily overcome with the star. So we have the mouse and clover, mouse and sun, mouse and star. These are all very positive, and they help, the mouse with the more neutral cards, which allow for the challenges to come through, but they're easily overcome. So this is wonderful for a relationship, Libra. It's a focus on a person this week, a certain connection. It sounds like you're gonna turn the page and move forward, or maybe move ahead with this new relationship, and it sounds really bright. So these initial doubts, you're going to overcome them. Now, my feeling is that it's personal, a personal relationship, like a love, a friendship, or a deep connection with someone. But they're also great cards for other relationships in other contexts, like a work collaboration or some other person you work with or do things with. It could be a job opportunity, for example. It could be a new colleague that you're going to get along with. So really nice cards in any context. Let me know what you make of them, Libra. Let me know who this person is and what were these initial doubts, if you're willing to share. As always, I look forward to your feedback. So best of luck with this first full week of 2026. Stick around, Libra. Let's go through our forecast together this year again. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your weekly reading. This is the first full week of 2026. I hope you're excited about it. Let's deal out your extended line of 5 and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Scorpio, here is your extended line of 5, and it has a few challenges, but they're not without solutions. The cards are just going to call on you to be careful moving forward in order to keep the peace, because it could be a little bit fragile as you move forward. Now we have the flowers in the center. The flowers is a very bright card. It's a card of healing and success. It's great for optimism and happiness and celebrations. It's a really lighthearted and lovely card. Earlier, though, we have the ship and whip, and this clearly points to a challenge, maybe in your journey, maybe with a person or with the way things were going. So the whip really rocks the boat. But seeing the flowers after the whip is lovely because it tells us that you're going to be able to overcome this and fix it and heal it. But then we have the snake and tower. So the snake is often a card of deception, but I would say in this context, it's important to be careful moving forward and to be maybe less aggressive, less maybe slower in your approach in order to maintain this peace after the challenges. The tower is a card of the long term, so things could take time to settle again, and you want to keep the long-term view in all cases. Keep your focus on the long-term goal, so these temporary upsets, put them in perspective. Now, something else that comes through this line is that you might see through someone. You might see through their attempt at charming you, at deceiving you, and you're able to see through that. So the flower is going to give you protection and you're going to be able to move forward, focusing on your goals. Another thing is that the tower can be people in authority, people at the top, management or specialists and so on, maybe in a work context or in a formal context, because that's usually what the tower refers to, but it's flexible. So with these people, Scorpio, it's a very good idea to maintain discretion and to avoid being aggressive. So you have to balance your approaches, okay? And that's going to be part of your success. Now, the lily with the flowers and clouds. The clouds is also a little bit challenging because it casts doubts and it might cause you to question things and to, have some inner confusion about certain things. And the lily and flowers can suggest your career or your life in general, or the things that you're doing with your life mainly. So the path that you're on, you could be having doubts about it. And that could be part of the reason why we're seeing this whip and snake. Maybe you are questioning a little bit if you're on the right track, if you're doing the right things. Not a bad thing to do. It's always good to check in. The whip with the lily, snake, and clouds, this is a bit more challenging because we have all three challenging cards connected. And the lily can suggest your life path, your life in general, your lifestyle, or maybe your work, your career, or your main activity. And it can also be about health. So maybe you have some stresses or you're going through some challenges. But in terms of your life in general, you could be questioning things and you could be going through some challenges that actually cause you to question, which is not a bad thing. Now, the ship with the lily, tower, and clouds, this is very much about defining your long-term vision. This is a great reading for the beginning of the year, I have to say, Scorpio. It's not the brightest of readings, but it's great for a reality check. It's a good idea to take stock of how far you've been and what you're doing, and if this is aligned with your long-term goal, if you're 100% invested, or if you need to make adjustments. So this is a great time for honesty and resetting your long-term vision and your long-term goals. So definitely spend some time and think about this and take into consideration the recent challenges, the possible deceptions, and how you're going to move forward. So really nice wake-up call, or not really a wake-up call, but like highlighting what you could be looking at, Scorpio, so that you have more vision on your path. That's going to be very helpful. And I'm also thinking that the flowers could be about your creativity and your expression. And you want to find the right avenues and the right pathways for this. So you want to focus on bringing this out. So it's a good idea to sit down and think about what is in the way of that. What have you been doing that's been taking you away from your authentic work or your authentic expression, and start to deal with it right from the get-go. Now, I'm not seeing people cards, You know, we're not seeing the ring, the dog, the man, woman cards. We're not seeing people cards as such. But in terms of people, this could be a bit challenging. It's probably more on the deceptive side, disappointing side, and you could be revisiting and reconsidering this relationship. But I also think, Scorpio, that it's time to take back your power from these challenges or these situations that are causing them in order to refocus on your long-term vision. So that could be these obstacles that we saw, or it could be people who are causing them, or maybe a mix of the two. So let me know what you make of this, Scorpio. Let me know what it is you need to focus on in order to reset your vision. And this is great time for it. So don't waste time. And, you know, the sooner you embrace clarity, the better. You know, clarity is one of my mottos. So thank you for tuning in for this, Scorpio. Do stick around for the coming forecasts. Let's do 2026 forecasts together. It's always wonderful to get your feedback on these readings. Very best of luck again. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your weekly reading. This is the first full week of 2026, like we said, and I hope you're excited about it. So we're doing your extended line of 5. Let's deal out your cards and see what is in store for you this first week. Okay, Sagittarius, here is your extended line of 5. It's looking really pretty. We have a few very bright cards, especially the star and the flowers is right in the middle. We also have the dog, which is a card of friends, colleagues, siblings, you know, people in your life, in your peer group usually. And with these bright cards, it points to a really good connection here. So backing up to the beginning, we have the tree and coffin. So these are a slower pair, a slower group of cards here. And it can mean that things were on hold or were taking time, or maybe you had set them aside for some time, or they've sort of disappeared for a while. But with the flowers in the middle, there is definitely a renewal. A renewal in terms of coming back into action. This thing that was on hold comes back into the picture. And with the anchor and dog, it sounds like it was a relationship. So perhaps you were apart, maybe you were away in different locations or just busy with your different lives. And the flowers clearly points to a renewal. And the thing about the flowers is that it's not just about happy things happening. It is a card of things coming back, quite literally. Because it's associated with spring, it points to this idea of things coming back into the picture. And the anchor and dog is really nice for a solid relationship, especially with the flowers, which lightens up the anchor a little bit, because it is a heavy card and it can point to restrictions and, you know, being secure. So in relationships, it can feel like a restrictive energy, but with the flowers, it lightens it up and it points to a secure and strong connection. So this is a very beautiful message for reconnecting with someone and having them back in your life and in a positive way. The star and flowers is definitely about wish fulfillment, and the stork is lovely for things kicking off and moving forward. So a very beautiful message of things coming back into play, things materializing in the way that you want, relationships feeling good, also being confident and feeling strong and fulfilled. So a very beautiful set of cards. I would say, Sagittarius, that given the tree and coffin, it's a good idea to sort of take your time a little bit and to allow things to take their time as well. Trust that they're going to come back into the picture. If it is in your hands to bring them back, to renew your connection with them, then do so. It sounds like it's a good week. The coffin with the star, anchor, and stork is, again, similar to what we said. The stork and coffin kicks things into motion after a time of waiting. The coffin and star is great for healing, and the anchor and stork and star and stork is great for coming back and landing in a very beautiful situation. The tree with the star, dog, and stork is another beautiful combination here. Things picking up, things materializing. The tree and stork is a nice combination for growth and promotion and stepping up. It's great for that positive evolution. And with the dog, especially with the star, it's great for a relationship. It's great for things materializing in the way that you want. So really nice card, Sagittarius. There's a renewal of energy. Really nice for the beginning of the year after this ending or this time apart. It's great for your energy, for your sense of well-being, your sense of enthusiasm, your connection. And these are also cards that work in any context. So it doesn't have to be a personal relationship or a personal friendship. It could be great for a colleague, for customers, for other people in your life, where you come back into action and have this secure connection with them. So a really nice set of cards for the beginning of the year. Sagittarius, let me know what you made of them. What was this phase that was on hold or this waiting time, and what this relationship was about. As always, I look forward to your thoughts. Very best of luck with this first week or first full week of 2026. Do stick with me, Sagittarius, for all the forecasts we're going to be doing this year. I really care about your presence in this community. Very best of luck. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's do your extended line of 5 for this first full week of 2026. Okay, Capricorn, here is your extended line of 5. And for you, it's looking like a slower week. We've got the mountain in the middle, in the center. It can be a card of being abroad or far away. Maybe you're traveling. And it is also a card of blockages or obstacles or things being sort of stopped. And we have the coffin, which is a card of endings. We have the road, which could be moving on, and the powerful bear. And we have the ring at the top, which can be a relationship, but it could also be a commitment or an involvement. So let's build your extended line. So the garden and bear, this is an important meeting or important people that you're meeting with. And with the coffin, the mountain, this could be in that location, in a different location. The bear and mountain can also suggest being based abroad or in that farther location. So maybe you are setting up shop or setting up your life in another place, or you're creating some kind of foothold for it. Now, the thing about the coffin here is that it can suggest a couple of things. First, you could be ending that connection or that situation. Second, you could be leaving in order to go to it. And third, there could be things that are on hold or taking time. Specifically, the letter points to news. And so with the coffin and letter, there could be delays. With the news, there could be things that are postponed. Maybe you're busy being abroad, or maybe things are going to be put on hold. And this could be part of that slower energy. It is also a good idea, Capricorn, that if you are sending out the communication, or you need to follow up on something or respond, then it's a good idea to take your time with it and to plan it out a little bit. I would think, being very early in the new year, maybe it's not the ideal time. So sort of, sleep on it a little bit. Now, the ring with the mountain and road, this is another suggestion of having a connection like the bear in that location. And the road can mean that you travel to it. Maybe you're going somewhere and that's why you're taking a leave of absence, or you're just going to be away for some time. And I have to say, Capricorn, that based on the energy of these cards, it might be some time for yourself. Going solo, just being with yourself for some time. Yes, there are connections that you have in these locations, but there is also an energy of taking a distance, which could be called for. Now, here's more. The bear with the ring and coffin, road and coffin, this could point to the end of the road. This could point to an ending. This can point to you leaving, or like we said, releasing a connection that you have in that certain place. Doesn't have to be a relationship with someone specifically. It could be that connection or involvement that you have in that location. So this could be coming to a close. You could be arriving at the end of the road. The garden with the ring, letter, and road is almost the opposite. where this is a contract or an agreement, and you could be moving towards that. So you could be changing here. You could be ending a project, moving into another one. You could be wrapping up a phase and agreeing to the next steps. You could be releasing certain connections and focusing on others. So it's quite a transition for you this week, Capricorn. And the thing about the cards is that they feel a little bit heavier. They feel a bit colder. And there is an element of seriousness. So it could be serious. It could be a big deal. It could be some important issues here. But it is definitely a week to focus on bringing things to completion and to evaluating your connections. And if you can take a break or get away, it might be a good idea to do this. Now, in terms of a personal relationship, because we have the ring, in terms of a personal relationship, I feel, Capricorn, that you could be at least taking a break or ending it. We're not seeing the sharp breakup cards like the Scythe and Whip and these cards, but there is a clear ending with the Coffin and Road, which is the end of the road, and the ring and Coffin. It tends to represent the end of a relationship. So you could be wrapping up a relationship and moving on. And it could be a time of deeper transition. So we're seeing the dynamics. We're not seeing whether it's bright or negative. You know, the cards are mostly neutral. They apply in different contexts, or they can. And the focus is really on creating that space for you, Capricorn, reaching a conclusion, wrapping something up, and agreeing to the next steps. So it's important, and you want to focus on this and give it the attention and seriousness that it deserves. And again, if you can take some time off for yourself, it's a good idea. Let me know what you make of this, Capricorn. I'm certainly interested to know how this is playing out for you. What is ending? What is wrapping up? What are those next steps you have in mind, if you're willing to share? Very best of luck with this, Capricorn. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you'll stick with me with the coming forecast through 2026. It'd be a delight to keep you. Again, thank you, and until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your weekly reading for the first whole week of 2026. Let's deal out your extended line and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Aquarius, here is another ending. I think just Capricorn got an ending energy as well. And I think an earlier sign as well. A few, smaller number, but a few signs this week are still wrapping things up and closing. And we're seeing endings clearly for you. We've got the Coffin and the Anchor. This is very much about sealing something off. In the middle of the center of your extended line of 5, Aquarius, we have the Mouse. It's a little bit challenging, but it's not very challenging. With the Coffin, it points to things tapering off. Now, here's what's interesting. Earlier, we see the Child, which is the card of new beginnings. And we've got the Coffin in the line as well. So when the two show up together, it's clear that we're looking at an ending, because a beginning and an ending, they tend to come together. The Cross can mean that it's meant to be and that it's time to turn the page. I have to say, though, Aquarius, that the Cross has an element of burden, and it does impose itself, meaning that you have to turn the page at this point. And the thing about the Mouse and Coffin is that you have to let something go. So it's been tapering off, it's been closing off, and this is the time when you need to just let it go, turn the page, and be ready to move into a new beginning. So the focus is actually on the ending. It sounds like you can't really turn the page without ending this. So focus on ending this in order to be able to move to the next phase. Now, the Mountain with the Mouse and Rider can mean a few things. You could be traveling or going places that are sort of farther away. We've got the Mountain and the Rider. They can point to travel, but the Mouse, again, is a bit of a challenging card. So you could have some obstacles in your way, or maybe it's a drag. Maybe you need to do things and you don't really want to, need to go places and things like that. You need to follow up on this. And also, Aquarius, you need to move past the obstacles. So there's a few bumps in your way as you wrap this up and get ready for turning the page. The Cross with the Mountain, Coffin, and Rider, this too is a combination of important because the cross and mountain often suggests that you're in for a new chapter, and at this stage you don't really have visibility into how important this phase is going to be. The Coffin and Rider is again really key in telling you that you need to bring this to a close. So a real focus on the transition, closing that door and opening a new one. And in the outer, we see the Child. So the Child and Mountain is a bit like the Cross and Mountain. It points to an important new phase in the making. And the Child and Rider into the Anchor is great for achievement, going after your goals and moving forward into this new beginning. The Mountain and Anchor is a card that a combination that can point to a foothold that you have in another place, Aquarius. So maybe you could be contemplating a move or creating a foundation in other places, and this could be part of the transition and transformation that you could be starting at least within the week. So it sounds like it's a big deal, Aquarius. It could affect several layers of your life. It could feel a bit challenging because you have to lift off this change and you have to bring things to a close. But the cards are clear. You need to do this, and you don't want to drag your feet around it. It sounds like you already have enough little details around it that you need to deal with. So get to work on them and don't let it drag longer, because then the issues could add up, pile on, and then you'll have to unwind these as well. So focus on ending this chapter, let it go, do what you need to do, go after these issues, wrap things up, iron them out, and bring things to a close. So let me know if this is resonating with you. And also, Aquarius, this could happen in your life in general or in some specific area, but the idea is the same. So a really interesting set of cards, a bit slower, a bit heavier, but definitely a transition, very clear in the card. So I hope you go for this. And your Anchor is strong and solid, and the Child is lovely. So you're going to pull through this week's transition. Let me know what you make of this, Aquarius. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback, and let me know what was ending here. I'd appreciate your sharing. And very best of luck with this. And also stay tuned for the upcoming forecasts, Aquarius. Let's go through 2026 together with these lovely readings so that we can keep growing and morphing and acting intentionally. So very best of luck with the weekend with 2026. Thank you for tuning in again. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your weekly reading. This is the first full week of 2026, and I hope you're excited about it. Let's deal out your extended line of 5 and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Pisces, here is your extended line of 5. It's exciting. Here's another ending energy. The last few signs all had this ending energy, and one sign earlier. And so you're wrapping things up. It's still the beginning of the year, so things are tapering off from the previous year. But also, for your part, we're seeing a very strong message of a change. There could be a significant change of direction for you right from the get-go, Pisces. So the moon in the center is lovely, though. It's a beautiful energy. It's a gentle card, and it softens the Scythe and these other fast cards like the Rider. It's also a card of offers and invitations. So I wonder if you might get an opportunity here that causes you to change and move in a different direction. So the Coffin and Ship, very clearly, it's the end of a journey, but also in this order, you're ending a journey and moving into a new one. And this moon is lovely. It really, pulls you into that new journey, into the road. The Ship and road, and actually the Rider are all movement cards. So it's pretty active. And this moon here could be, it is the center of all of this, and it points to an invitation or an offer that can pull you through into this direction. It can also feel like an evolution. Like, I also have a feeling that if it's not like an external offer, an external invitation coming to you, there's a morphing, there's an evolution, through the phases of the moon. And with the Coffin and Scythe, which are pretty sharp in pointing to an ending, it's clear that you're moving in a new direction, Pisces. The road and scythe is very much a change of direction, very much a change of direction, and a sharp one. So this could be quite big. It could be a big deal. It could happen quickly. It could be unexpected, and it could go deep as well. Now, the mouse is a little bit challenging. It points to annoyances, issues here and there. You're going to overcome them. The moon can mean that the issues are with this offer. The rider is also supportive of this offer because it's a messenger, it's news, and so together with the moon, there is a clear message of an invitation. It could also be a visitor, by the way, or someone you connect with. The thing about the mouse at the top is that you need to overcome these little issues and then you move forward. The rider at the bottom is great for that sort of momentum and speed. So things are going to pick up and changes are going to happen, and whatever was dragging is going to be overcome. There's an ending and a change and a clear new direction that opens up. Very exciting. The ship with the mouse, road, and rider, we're seeing all three movement cards here together. The mouse is a bit annoying. It causes bumps, little issues, but you're still moving forward, Pisces. The mouse is not nearly strong enough to deter you or to block you. So it's just about dealing with these bumps as you go through. And then the coffin with the mouse, scythe, and rider, a very clear message of an ending. You could also be getting rid of things, getting rid of distractions, decluttering, and doing things. But things that, you know, clear your deck. But these cards, I was saying, they're a bit bigger than just decluttering, you know, and things like that. There's a change, almost a sweeping change that brings this new direction and this forward movement. And they're also faster cards, especially the rider and scythe and road, really the scythe with any card, but the rider is also speedy in itself. So there is a change, a deep change, possibly coming through an offer or a positive evolution. Now, the cards are flexible in terms of context. They can apply for your work, for your life in general. Maybe you're traveling, maybe you're moving, you know, so they can apply in these different contexts. Relationships, yeah, not so much about relationships, but if they are about relationships, then they could be a bit heavier and suggest a breakup, you know, because of the scythe and coffin. They're kind of sharp in this sense. Again, it's not my feeling that the focus is on relationships, but we've got to make room for some exceptions because obviously all Pisces people aren't going through the same circumstances. So I'm excited for you, Pisces. I think this is exciting. There is an element of neutrality in terms of whether this is positive or negative, but the excitement makes it more positive. The sharpness and the momentum and the speed with which we're seeing this development happening here could make it more exciting. I hope you're going to embrace this. I hope you're ready for change, Pisces, because this could turn things around. Be ready to act quickly and also be willing to let go. Be willing to let go, Pisces. Move past the issues, the distractions. You know, you gotta zoom into this to this path that's going to open up for you. Let me know what you make of this. I look forward to your feedback. I look forward to for you telling me how you resonated with these cards. And it's exciting to see them in the beginning of the year. So best of luck with this, Pisces. Thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for the upcoming 2026 forecast, weeklies, monthlies, and other picker cards coming up. There's a lot of exciting things that could be happening in 2026. It is year one. And so stay tuned. Let's go through this journey together. Thanks again, Pisces. Very best of luck. And until next time, take very good care of yourself.